Hey guys, my name is Skylar. I am completely blind. I'm autistic and I have a chronic heart condition. I am talking about one of my favorite what used to be one of my favorite learning school topics when I was at the School for the Blind. It still kind of is, but I'm going to tell you why I kind of had to back off of this topic of mine. So, let's start from the beginning. Because I'm blind, completely blind, I went to school for the School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, which is like a dormitory setting. I get bused back to school, which is 3 hours away from where I live. So I had to take the school bus back to school every Sunday and home every Friday, excluding holidays. Anyways, so I started getting taught this topic even before I went to the School for the Blind, because it was just part of school curriculum. And it's Black history. Now, I don't know if you can know this, but I'm half black. My dad's black and my mom's white. But Black history was taught to me, started when I was 9. And I don't want to say it was watered down, but it was made kid appropriate so it wouldn't, traumatize me to death and make me have nightmares and, wet the bed and stuff. It was kind of softly approached, being that I was only 9 when they started teaching it. Anyways, so Black history was one of my favorite learning topics, up even when I started going to the School for the Blind. And I will have to say my teacher made it really fun for me, or fun for us, and kind of interactive when I was 10 and 11 and 12. And she had very creative things that she did to make the topic kind of interactive, I guess. And I don't want to say fun, because the things that they had to go through weren't fun, but it to make us get into it more. Like, for example, we had to play a game where the floor was the game board, and the pieces looked like feet, and we had to, she would say, move 2 steps or move 4 steps this way or whatever across the board, and whatever we landed on, we had to do. And like my friend Martha, she landed on a space that said, "Caught by slave catchers, go back to the fields," and she had to start back over. She had to go back to the beginning of the game board and just start over. Or she even had us cook hoe cakes on an actual hoe, and she used actual bacon grease and stuff to cook it in, and she taught us how it was to do it and blah blah. And they were actually pretty good. Another thing is that she had us draw numbers from this big bucket. Some of us got 1s and some of us got 2s, blah blah blah. There were only 1s and 2s in the bucket. And she goes, when we got all finished drawing, she goes, "What if I just wake up one morning and decide, for no reason, I don't like 2s. I don't like the number 2. So she started saying, "Well, what if I decide that people from the number 2 that drew number 2, had to stand up instead of sitting down on the bus," or things like that, discriminating against the people that drew the number 2 to kind of show us in a kid appropriate way what it felt like that they did to the coloreds. Again, not to traumatize the kids. So yeah, it was fun learning about Black history. Black history was one of my favorite learning topics. But I had to back off of it for a very specific reason. And that is because I started having nightmares when I was a teenager about people calling me the N-word. And when I say people, I use this term very loosely. When I say people, quote unquote, air quotes, people, I mean they could be humans, they could be ghosts, They could be zombies. I mean, you name it. I've had nightmares about people calling me the N-word. And when I would learn a lot about Black history, I would have a lot more of those dreams a lot more often. So, for example, on a normal school month when I was a teenager, I might only have like one of those dreams per a couple months. This is just a rough estimate. But on months where we learned a lot about Black history, I might have two of them per 2 weeks. Again, that's just a rough estimate. So, I would have a lot of inward nightmares when I would learn more about Black history. A lot. And like, it would, on Martin Luther King Day, we would learn about him, or on February, which is Black History Month, and I would just have lots and lots of nightmares about people calling me that. And I don't know if you know this, but I hate that word, even if colored say it, because sometimes they say it with an A instead of an ER, and I still hate that. It's to me, it's just the same word, and I hate it no matter what you are. Black, blue, green, orange, I don't care. Alright? Okay. Anyways, so, yeah. I still, to this day, I love books like Huckleberry Finn, To Kill a Mockingbird, Roll of Thunder. Right now, I got myself an audiobook called Road to Memphis, and it's by Mildred D. Taylor. When I was a teenager, my reading books was another one of the ways that my teacher would teach us about Black history. One of the books that she read us was called Let the Circle Be Unbroken, and it's by Mildred D. Taylor. It's about the Logan family who are Black, and how they get treated by Caucasians, and like what happens to them and the way it makes them feel, kind of thing. Blah blah blah. Sorry, that's my mom talking. And I liked that series. I still do. And I have started reading Road to Memphis, and I have an Audible subscription now that I'm an adult, and I have this thing called a tablet and this thing called money of my own. I can get myself an Audible subscription, and I downloaded the book of Road to Memphis, and I like it. But right now they're kind of caught in a bad place because Mo hit a white guy with a tire iron because the white guy kept picking on him and things like that. So yeah. But my point is, I would not read those books at night because they do say the N-word a lot, and because they do mistreat coloreds. I don't want to listen to it close to being asleep, because if I listen to stuff close to it night, it could give me nightmares, and that's not fun. Okay? If, like, I don't really like having nightmares. So, even though I really, really, really love the crap out of those books, I am not going to be stupid enough to listen to them at night, is what I'm saying. Because it'll be just like it was when I was a teenager. I'll have nightmares, blah, 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 blah. I still like learning about the topic, though. I still like looking up books about the topic. Every once in a while, I'll get a little hunger for an audiobook about that specific topic, and I just like it. Still. But nowadays that I'm an adult, I can choose how much of which topic I want to consume, when I want to consume it, how I want to consume it, blah, blah, blah. So I can kind of keep a gate, so to speak, on, or keep a lid on it, so that I can read that book and read those wonderful books, but not have the side effect of having nightmares, because it's not fun. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really, really hope that I did not offend anybody, because I'm not trying to be mean on this video. I'm just expressing my opinions and my life story. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and God bless.